Nothing gets me down like a kick in the head to a broken heart.
I think it did record. Okay, take 2. Jeff, what is your definition of power pop?
What is power pop? Well, I got a couple of good definitions for power pop to the uninitiated that need to know what it's all about. A lot of times I'll say if you can pump your fist to it and sing along at the same time, it's probably power pop. If it rocks and your mom likes it, it might be power pop. Basically, you know, good melodic, upbeat rock and roll.
Okay.
It makes you feel good, but it's got some punch.
Okay.
How's that?
So one album that, if you were going to be on a desert island, one power pop album, what would it be?
That's a tough one because there's so many good ones. I've often put this record as my desert island disc. It's not a totally pure power pop record, but it's in that universe.
Okay.
And that would be the Posies Dear 23 record, which came out in 1990. It's one of those just classic pop records that's got everything going. It's got power, but it's got melody, it's got production, it's just great songs. You know, I would that's one that I'd have a hard time living without.
Okay, that's a great answer. I've listened to that album a few times. Thank you for sharing that one.
It's a good one.
What are you listening to right now? I know we're listening to the Warriors game, but
yeah, we got the Warriors, but they're losing, so we'll talk about music instead. There's lots of great indie music out right now. Some of the stuff I like the new Pornographers' new record. It's a good one of my favorites of the year. There's a great band out of Portland, Oregon, came on the scene a couple years ago called Eyelids.
Okay.
It's got one of the guys from the Decemberists, bass player from Guided by Voices, one of these sort of collective bands. Really great stuff. They got a couple records out. There's a band from San Antonio called The Mites that I'm really getting into. One of the guys actually from the Posies, who I just mentioned, turned me on to them last year. Great kind of noise pop band. But there's a lot of good stuff out there.
A lot of good stuff out there. And then what's in your playlist right now? I mean, what are you listening to right now? What's the last one you listened to?
Those mentioned bands.
Those? Okay.
On the new, stuff that's new. Really digging the new Ride album. It's not a total power pop record, but they're one of those shoegaze bands from the 90s that kind of resuscitated in the last few years, and they put out a great record earlier in the year. There's this unknown band from Philadelphia that I'm really into called Hurry.
Okay.
They just put out a record that sounds like the best Teenage Fan Club record that the Teenage Fan Club never made. It's just fantastic guitar pop. And they're called Hurry.
Hurry. Okay. Philadelphia.
Yeah, cool. Philly.
Okay. What one power pop song should everybody sing at karaoke?
Well, I'll give you my answer.
Okay, yeah.
But
What's yours?
I'll give you.
What's yours?
The song that everybody should sing, I think, would be "Cheap Trick," "Surrender." I mean, you can't go wrong. That's a party favorite.
It's a high note to hit, though.
The one that I always like to sing, because it's usually at karaoke. I mean, karaoke, you're kind of, you're limited to what crappy selections they have. But the one that never seems to fail that I always latch onto is the Vapors, "Turning Japanese." Because everybody knows it. It's power pop. It was a hit. And it's usually a karaoke, so that's my go-to answer. But "Cheap Trick," "Surrender."
Cheap Trick, okay. No, that's a good one. Who's the most underrated power pop band? You mentioned some really famous ones. Give me some that people have just completely missed it, or maybe ahead of their time.
Well, I think probably the obvious answer, and most power pop geeks will know, Big Star.
Big Star.
I mean, that kind of goes without saying. A band that never got their dues, but they
almost made it, or never.
They never really. They were kind of a blip on the screen. I mean, decades after they put out their music, I think they got more embraced because they kind of were in that power pop arena before that was even really a prominent genre.
Yeah.
This guy just ran a red light.
Sorry, Marty almost killed me in the parking lot.
Yeah.
We're on our right.
So, you know, Big Star.
Big Star, okay.
That's kind of an obvious answer. I mean, really, I mean, there's so many bands that, you know, in a perfect world would be huge on the radio, but,
Right.
you know, in the indie world, there's all kinds of bands making great guitar music and just great rock and roll that, you know, just a handful of people will hear. So, I mean, to that extent, they're all kind of underrated,
Right.
at least in my opinion.
Right.
But that's the way of the world.
And last act you saw live, who did you just recently see?
I go to a lot of shows. I think the most recent show, I saw Swerve Driver.
Okay. Oh yeah, you were talking about them.
Another 90s band that kind of has been resurrected a little bit.
Okay.
They put on a great show at Bimbo's in San Francisco. Big guitar, big loud guitar band. They're kind of
Jingly?
no.
They're
kind of like if shoegaze mixed with a little Sonic Youth. So I mean, they're kind of shoegazy Britpop, but more in the noisy variety with just great guitar, big loud bombastic guitar. It was a good show. That was I'm still a little deaf from that one.
All right. Cool.
Nothing gets me down.